So strap on your VR headset because we're about to transport you into the captivating world of Ghosts of Tabor. Welcome to Tabor Radio. Hey, welcome to this episode of Tabor Radio. Today we're joined with Wilson from the QA team. Who, this is cool. We actually got to meet Wilson
in person.
Yeah, before we spoke to him here. That was the first person where it's that way. Everyone else we've met digitally first and then talked to remotely. Wilson's the exception to that. We saw him in person. Now here he is on Tabor Radio. So Wilson, good to see you today. Thanks for joining us from bright, sunshiny Florida. Yep. Definitely better than cold New England over here.
Waiting on a nasty storm.
But do you want to tell the listeners who you are and what you do for Combat Waffle Studios and Ghosts of Tabor?
That's right. I'm actually Chris, but everyone at the studio calls me Wilson. That was never an option for me. It just sort of stuck. So I guess I'm Wilson. Combat Waffle Studios. I'm QA deputy on the team, so I spend a lot of time in headset. I'm sort of so much time. I'm confused as to what is my true reality, probably. So yeah.
So now I want to know about the Wilson story.
Yeah, you delivered that so deadpan and perfect. Yeah. Your name is actually Chris. That wasn't a joke, right? Your name is Chris?
Yes, my name is Chris. Yeah. My last name's hyphenated, but we already had a Chris at the studio, and I think during my interview, Joshy gave the interview. I think he just said, Scott's calling you Wilson, so that's what we're going to call you.
Do you know how they settled on Wilson? Like, what if there's like a character or something?
I don't know, but a lot of references to Castaway is what I get all day.
All right. Oh man, that's what went through my head. So
that's funny. Genuinely, the first time I've heard that, I went into this interview today thinking your name was Wilson.
Nope. I mean, it's my last name, but yeah, part of my last name.
So how long have you been at the studio enduring this false namehood?
Since August, I think.
Okay.
Last August. Yep.
Oh, last August. Okay.
Yeah.
So good amount of time now when you look at Tabor's total lifespan, and you work on the QA side of things, but is this your first time in a game studio professionally working, or do you come from a game?
It is. This was my first studio gig. Got pretty big into VR around 2020 when Quest 2 came out. I'm really good friends with Elijah. So he's the one who got me the interview. I mean, we go way back. When we were 15 years old, we knew each other. So
did you guys come from the same like neck of the woods, or do you know each other from like online gaming and stuff?
That's right. Yep. We grew up together. So we met when we were 15.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's even cooler.
That is awesome. And when you say you got pretty big into VR, is that on the consumer side? Or I know a lot of people on the Combat Waffle team, they've also gone into content creation and stuff like that.
Just on the consumer side, never did any streaming or anything like that. No content creation.
That's
strictly
like the consumer dream right there. To go straight from a gamer into a game studio, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Possible. I honestly didn't know that was possible.
You got to grow up with Elijah. That's cool to know that.
Well, I mean, that's half. You got to think half of it's that, and then the other half is, I mean, you have to present yourself.
You have to show up to the interview, deliver, and of course, do a good job since then.
So did you go to school for any sort of gaming anything, or was this just?
No, I did not. No. I'm just self-motivated, and I work really hard at what I do. So,
that's an awesome story right there.
Damn.
Yep.
I mean, hey, it shows you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't, That's
you just have
amazing,
to
dude.
apply yourself,
And did you come in for a QA position, or were you just like, I'll do anything?
I did. I came in for QA. They were looking for QA guys. I studied up. Scott got me the interview, and then I nailed the interview, So played Tabor before the interview, so I knew enough about the game. And then just looked into the job details and worked on that.
Now you pretty much live in Tabor.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, I get it. Even when we were there, people, I mean, they were doing their jobs and stuff. People got their headsets on all day doing their
Yes.
jobs.
We didn't really get to chat when you were here too much. It was all business. The big
it was
9-0 patch.
I kind of get a feeling that that's a typical work day, though. I feel like it's always all hands on deck, 1,000 things being worked on.
Dude, it was amazing to be a fly on the wall, though, and watch. Scott just went shooting by on the scooter. Be a fly on the wall and get to watch all the activities. So no, I'm grateful for what we he's going. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Every time I look over,
people need to understand they have fun at this studio. This is not like a shirt and tie and stuffy attitude studio that you're
super,
working.
Super corporate and stuff. But I mean, as we saw too, people work hard,
dude. No joke. And the energy level of everyone is just on point.
Mm-hmm.
You really miss it.
We work hard and we play really hard.
Oh yeah, you do. Orbeez.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say is Orbeez.
So when you say you got pretty big into VR too, what were some of your favorite VR games prior to joining Tabor?
I a lot of Pavlov. Played a lot of Pavlov. Hard to concentrate with this.
Oh no,
I'm surprised you haven't gotten shot yet.
I 100% anticipated this. This will not be edit free for sure.
Well, before we loaded into the interview, you go, watch, Scott's going to be right behind him, and we go in, and Scott was. That's fucking hilarious. I'm surprised you haven't gotten shot yet either. So
yeah,
I think
it's a matter of time.
Yeah,
a matter of time.
It's going to be a game shooting.
Inevitable.
So you're saying a lot of Pavlovs, a lot of shooters. That was kind of your cup of tea?
Yes.
I just
definitely the shooters. Come say hello.
I think anybody not watching on video will be this is definitely a must watch on video one for sure.
Oh, tore the mic right off.
Oh man. So we will hold the mic for a second to anybody
What's up?
Oh, hey. We're back in. We're watching
What's
you
up?
Scoot we're watching you scoot all
I've
around.
wrecked 3 times just now doing that. There will be shit behind Wilson this entire podcast happening. We've planned it all out. It's coming. Maybe a fishnet stocking shirt's coming from Carney later. We'll find out.
Oh, I'm crying.
He was really nervous about this interview. He combed his beard before this.
Oh, he looks so
weird.
Looks very beautiful. It paid off.
That's not true. I was not nervous at all.
No, you actually you have a very seems to have a very laid back demeanor. Well, even in person, mm-hmm. in meeting, we saw it's like just business, go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting.
Every time something got added to his list of things to do, I just it was a little simple head nod. Yep,
cool. Let me plug in my shit here.
We can do what we can do.
Yeah,
that's my philosophy.
I just like the good-natured fun you all have on top of, work hard, play hard. It's a great balance, and not every environment at work has that by any stretch.
No.
But you guys are definitely a little next level. I'll admit it.
Best work environment, I have to say, I've had, for sure.
So when you got the job, did you go right to moving to the studio in person, or were you going remote for a little bit?
I was remote for just a little bit, maybe a month and a half, and then I was living in Michigan, so I was certainly happy to get rid of the snow in my life. Warm, sunny Florida.
I was going to ask how was the acclimation, but when you said Michigan, I'm like, it kind of doesn't matter where you move. It's probably going to be nicer weather, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're dealing with that right now. We got snow coming tomorrow. That's beautiful.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
Second.
So this is something I know you've asked before off air and stuff. Like, what goes into each one of these different positions, like QA?
Yeah, QA is the one that, like, for some reason I feel an attachment to. So it's like the one that
it sounds like you have to break the game, and that sounds fun to you. So what goes exactly into QA? Like, to us who don't know much about game development, it's like saying, another medical doctor or something like that, a specific niche of the medical field. It means there's no visual of what that flow looks like.
Other than we know putting on a headset, we'll say.
So are you going in the game, trying to break it, document it? What's that whole process look like?
Yes. So it's QA's job to think outside of the box. The developers will develop a system. It's our job to think of things that the developer wouldn't think of doing with that system. And it gets pretty autistic sometimes. Is it things we find and do, like,
so you just have to have a huge attention detail, try to hit things from every,
I imagine, be
different
super creative too, because if you've got to think really outside the box of like, okay, I'm assuming also you have to run every normal scenario of like, okay, we'll say normal player would do this, curious player would do this, and we are going to do this, correct?
Right, exactly. All 20 to 30 to hundreds of combinations of things we can just think of to break a system, really.
And so if you can't break something, is that considered like a failure? Like, shit, I didn't do good at my job.
No, it's great. I love that.
Okay.
I love not being able to break things.
And is a lot of it like generated to isolated specifics that like might be user generated issues that are coming up, and then it's like, well, the complaint is it happens here, so we try to recreate something in this particular spot.
Right. So like, you mean looking at like player issues?
Yeah.
And then try to like reproduce.
I mean, are you involved in that whole aspect as well?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime we can look at user complaints and try to replicate things as close as we can, like every detail of their armor, of their positioning on the map, trying to get every detail of, people around them to try to reproduce these things. We've went down some serious rabbit holes for sure.
I like your adjective you used to describe the workflow earlier. Do you have any good examples of some absolutely ridiculous things that you've had to try to break the game before? Like jumping off of high distances or anything ridiculous?
I don't know if I can give that away.
That's fair.
All right,
There's one in particular I can definitely think of, but it's
as I'm thinking about that,
fixed.
That makes 100% sense why too.
Yeah,
right.
You don't want to exploit that.
It's currently being fixed. I don't want to say, hey, all you live players, go do this.
Now, the reason I had asked about the player, because I see sometimes when people will, go into a Discord or something, and it'll be like, the game did this, the end. And they're really pissed off about it, where the real thing should be, okay, the game did this, but here is where I was. Here's what I had. And this is what was going on.
Yes.
Just FYI type of shit, more than, hey, it broke.
More information for us to work with, the better. Because if we just don't have the details, we are left to fill in the blank and really get into it. And we have done it before, but we definitely love more information.
And how old are you, Wilson? Or Chris?
I'm 28.
28?
Okay. I figured under 30, but.
Yep. Same exact age as me.
I still have the rest of my life ahead of me. That's what my grandma says. So
30, as somebody who is also 28, it's like the 30s looming, but we're still young. You know what I mean? But what were you doing prior to switching over to the game industry?
I was running a power washing business with another friend.
Damn.
Yep.
Real life power wash sim.
That's right.
I'm almost a little jelly.
So can you not play power wash sim because of that, or are you actually a fan of power wash sim?
I try to stay away from it. Yeah.
Was that a hard pull? I mean, power washing seems like a fun business to be in.
It can be lucrative depending as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like a bad business venture by any means.
Was it a hard sell to get away from, or you were like, dude, go work at games in Florida? Hell yeah.
I think what really did it was just sick of the weather, man. I was ready to change the scenery, and I'm not new to moving by any means, so
I get that. Florida is probably the peak that you can switch over to with that as well.
And that whole area is not not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
no, it's beautiful.
Drive 10 miles in any direction, it's going to look nice, you know?
Mm-hmm. And
so I get it.
And we had talked to Joshy the other month. So I'm guessing you work a lot directly with him?
A little bit more so. But he's project manager now, so not really too much. I'm pretty hands-on with developers and all the other QA guys.
Do you have any other, I mean, are you content with QA or now that you're in the door in the studio, do you go, you know what? You know, I'm maybe development or some other level, or is it really something that you can actually just be like, hey, QA's fucking great. It's not broke. Why fix it? No.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy QA. I really love breaking the game. It's definitely getting me a foot in the door. I'm working on developing as well, doing some personal project stuff to learn and continue to progress.
Are you willing to say at all what those personal projects are? I'm always interested to hear, you know, what people are working on the side.
Not at the moment.
No, I get it.
He's laughing at background stuff too, as well to anyone on audio as well.
You know what? It is what it is.
Not laughing at good old.
And in studio interviews dangerous, you know.
Yeah, it is.
I 100% anticipated.
I somehow saw this going better.
If you ask me, this is beautiful. This is the wonderful Ghosts of Tabor community. I think they're gonna love it.
It's the in-house love, man. It's like
yeah.
It's really something. I mean, till you see it, I guess it's hard to, but it's funny to watch go down.
Mm-hmm, no doubt. And I mean, sympathies to you in the sense that Ghosts of Tabor is not the simplest game. So I imagine QA is quite a fun endeavor with that. You know, it's a live service multiplayer game. It's constantly being updated.
Thousands of combinations.
8,000 players in a day. 8,000 plus players in a day. So many guns. So many maps. So, I mean, what are some of the biggest challenges that come up for a game at this scale when it comes to bug testing in QA?
It's a difficult question. Some of the biggest challenges.
Is it prioritizing which ones to even tackle, or
perhaps prioritizing? I
think that's a full-blown assault.
Christ.
that was a full-blown assault.
That'd be the best clip in the world. I'm so sorry.
They're gonna be like, "Don't put this one." This
Poor
is
Wilson. Like, I'm just trying to do.
We can't put this one out.
This is not going to be airable.
This is not.
Oh man!
I told them if I do this, we're going to get canceled. I'm going to say something that's totally just off the wall.
Well, the worst part is not even going to be anything from what you said. All said and done, it's going to be from getting assaulted on camera.
Oh, those gloves.
The way he.
No, they're big.
Yeah,
they look like gigantic balloons. That's too funny,
ridiculous.
Man. You have my sympathy.
This is my life.
Oh man, would you have it any other way though? Honestly, at this point.
Oh no, man, not really. It's great. We have a lot of fun, you know. I'm sort of the guy. I make people laugh a lot, you know. I'm sort of I don't know what they would do without me, not in their lives, you know.
Oh,
just bringing them all laugh, joy every day.
Oh man, good stuff though. I mean, like you said, good vibes all around. It's all fun and joy. And
dude, we saw all the levels of like we saw ultra serious, right? Like, and everyone's on point. It's like nobody was fucking around. There was no joke telling. It was like 100% focused on.
I don't think you could have pulled Patty away from that computer to tell a joke.
And then, well, in some of the settings we saw, you tell a joke, you're probably gonna get thrown through the freaking wall. It's like just not the right time. And then after that, it's like everyone, all right, what are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. Okay, boom, and shift on like, maybe what you think you're going to do today versus, a meeting later, now what you're going to do today, and being able to transition, and everyone has no problem with it. It works, man. There's a formula there that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That means getting harangued while you're trying to do a podcast, then, so be it. But
well, have you bought an Orbeez gun?
I haven't. I usually sort of manage to steal one from somebody and then do some work with it. But yeah.
I guess that's very Ghosts of Tabor-esque, right? You loot and take
Trust
advantage
no
of
one,
it.
right?
Trust no one. Go with it from there. So what's the... I'm just watching Scott scoot around in the back. I guess that does get a little...
I did hear the crash on one of the scooter-esque.
Yeah, right in the beginning. So does working on a game like Ghosts of Tabor, doing QA for it, does that kind of change the way you play games now? Like when you go into a game, are you looking for things wrong with it and bugs?
Oh yeah, all the time. I see bugs in every game I play.
They did say fishnet.
Oh, I love the shirt.
Can you get out of my office?
I remember he's wearing
what a great... This is the benefit of you all being in studio like this. Look at this guest appearance, this rotation that
it kind of is. It is like an appearance after appearance.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really special people here.
I actually forgot your question. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah. I was saying, but working on QA now, changed the way you play games.
Yes, games. All the time. I'm looking for things, the smallest details, the smallest issues. I see them all.
That's awesome, though.
I've heard that from different levels of game development, from developers to artistic people. It's like once you're kind of working on a game and doing your job for it, it kind of taints you sometimes to other. You're seeing shit you wouldn't normally see, or in your case, probably doing shit you wouldn't normally do.
And are you still able to play VR games with the same love? I know for some people, once they start working in the industry, it's kind of like, well, now I do it for work. It's hard to play it once I'm out.
So I missed like half the question.
You know this or not? No. Like the CEO is watching this later. Fuck that up.
Did he just tell you not to fuck it up?
Yes.
You're doing great.
So repeat that question for me one more time. I'm sorry about that.
No, don't be.
To be honest with you, it's gone from me at this point too.
It was something about, is it hard playing Tabor after working on Tabor?
Oh yeah, yep. Do you still have the same love for playing VR games in your free time?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, for sure.
Do you still go through like the same ones like Pavlov and stuff too? Or are you pretty like, are you one of those users that are always playing new games?
I've been playing a lot of like Dungeons of Eternity. Usually, love that game in VR.
One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. We've had the privilege of talking with one of their developers, Ryan, twice.
Yeah,
great developer team. One of the absolute favorite games.
I absolutely love that game.
We got a buddy here too.
Oh, IT department.
Hi.
Yep.
How are ya? I'll see you later. Okay.
So, what do you roll with in Dungeons of Eternity? Like, what's your build? I'm very big into an ice staff and
I go
axe.
Huge into the bows. Love the bows.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love the crossbows.
Me and a couple of guys here will jump into that game. Myron, me and Eli as well.
That's
love
very
that
good
game.
To know. Yeah, one of my absolute favorite for co-op VR.
We only do it on. We refuse to do it on anything but the hardest mode.
And now they set it so if you do it on a higher difficulty, you get a bonus for XP.
As you should.
And loot's about freaking time.
Significantly harder.
Yeah. But but back to Tabor. What's your
Tabor
typical?
Definitely gets me excited as well. Seeing new features, working on them, that gets me excited to play it.
And what's your typical loadout look like for Tabor?
Probably everything.
I test everything, but I got to go with the AK Alpha for sure.
Yep. Tried and true classic.
Yes, it is.
And do you have any tips for new players? It's a question I always got to ask.
Take it slow. Take it slow. I play slow and I creep. I like to hide in bushes. You know, I'm a real rat out there.
And are you going more for the loot or for the kills? I'm a loot guy.
Kills.
I'll say
all the killing. That's me. You know,
I forgot.
I could care less about the loot.
With Eli. That checks out.
Yeah, it would make total sense.
Yes.
That totally checks out.
Love the PvP. That's why I play it.
So are you more like in-house playing, or will you still just jump into servers? And
when I'm at home, of course, I'll jump on live. But if we don't need to test, sometimes we'll go into live and test a bug. But there, I'm not really playing. I'm just testing,
So you still got to get your fix when you get home for like the real playing?
Yes.
That's not perfect. Yeah. I love to hear that, dude.
Yeah, no, that's pretty impressive.
We've heard answers even on the, some people, they work on the game all day. They can't go home and play mentally, but
yeah.
I definitely don't play as much, but some of the new features get me excited and I have to jump on for a little bit here and there and get my fill.
I love to hear that. It's important to never lose the passion of VR.
No, and with Combat Waffle, there's no shortage of new things being introduced or making tweaks here and there, making some minor change. I remember, we got excited when there were just minor graphical updates going way back, and we were like, "Holy shit, look at the water now!" So I kind of get it.
And while I'm asking all the typical favorite questions and loadout question, what's your favorite map?
Ooh, man, my favorite map. I'm gonna have to go with Maka Miest.
Wow, above ground?
Yes, above ground. Yep. It's really pretty. A lot to do.
It's
got shout outs to other games in it. One of my favorite aspects.
I'm trying to think who else has said that map, and not many people, right?
The mall's tight too. It's hard to pull me away from the island though. But Maka's really good.
I thought the mall was great.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with the
island.
Mall.
Will always be my favorite, but
yeah,
we're island boys. All said and done.
Oh, we scrounge to the core. It's not even funny.
Well, it's so vast. There's so much to do.
A lot of NPC manipulation, like setting them up to look like they're still living and shit.
Mall's got to be a close second for sure as well.
Mall's got a lot of great, dude, good luck thinking you can't hide in there.
Anything that will get me into a player versus player engagement makes me happy. So
yeah, that's a good one. You're not going to avoid it.
Was Mall the first map to come out since you started working there, or did Maka Underground come out?
It is, yes. Mall is the first new map for me.
Okay, so there must have been...
I walked every inch of that map and found every issue everywhere.
There's always going to be a little sentimental thing with that map then, I'm sure. With you.
Yeah,
that makes
for sure.
Total sense.
Yep.
I miss when you could jump right out of the windows in the big cafeteria on 3rd story and just go outside of the map. That was the best. Talk to the other guys. Hey, come by the cafeteria really quick and just shoot from outside of the map at them and kill them. Like, it was the best. It was hard for me to report that one, so I couldn't use it on live,
Oh, no, dude, I get it. Some of them must be. I found an member when Pop One released the new map, and I found that exploit where I could hide inside a box. I could squat in it. For some reason, they forgot to put the
colliders on it.
Yeah, so I'd squat down there, and you'd lure people into the room, and then I just shoot them through the box. I started to feel bad, like I was going to get banned, but
totally bannable offense. But
whatever. They fixed it though. That was my go-to. I'm like, fuck it until they fix it. But it wasn't for lack of trying because I found it. Nope. So I get please don't make it go away.
And have you played much of Grim since Grim released?
Good.
I play quite a bit of Grim. Yes. Yep. But I'm a huge Rust fan as well, so I really enjoyed, bashing people's heads in with rocks. During the playtests here, the whole studio would be jumping in and playtesting. I mean, I swear I followed one of our developers for like 2 miles in the dark. He didn't even know I was there until he got to a gas station and just sort of finished the job.
We've been having so much fun with Grim for a couple months now, for probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, easily.
But to be able to go in there and there's servers with just live, so many random people, it is a dream.
Yes. Yeah.
Grim's legit. If it's your cup of tea, I get when people go, "Oh, it's not for." Hey, I get it. I totally do. But if it is, it's kind of got everything you need.
Definitely takes that Rust player mindset.
I feel like people are being very friendly in it right now.
Yeah.
More than I thought. Like I expected the game was going to come out and everyone was going to be just assholes.
Mercenaries. Yeah.
But I'm going in and I'm the only asshole. I'm like the only guy drinking at a party. I'm like kicking open the door. Woo! Everyone's like just drinking water and stuff. I'm fucking trashing, knocking over the table. I'm killing.
True though.
Yeah, I'm going in there, killing people in their sleep, chasing them. I'm seeing people help each other, talk. I'm like, no, guys, we got to be killing each other. I'm like, I'm kind of shocked how friendly things are right now.
I ran into a Rust player. He's got over like 1,500 hours in Rust. So I'm like, all right, I'm as good as fucking dead. And he was so nice. He was just like, oh no, I'm just learning to build and all this, and I'm gonna start playing this. I'm like, oh well, welcome. And then I backed away, thinking like, I can't believe this guy's letting me live, because in Rust, 100%, I'd be fucking dead by now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No questions about it. Oh yeah,
yeah. They got to learn the game first before they do the killing.
Are you involved, if you're allowed to say, in Silent North at all?
I'm involved, yeah.
Okay.
Doing testing there as well. Yep.
Because that excitement for me is pretty real.
Mm-hmm. We've started to see a lot of social media videos come out recently for Silent North as well, too. I'm hyped for that.
I think people are in for quite the awakening when that
you just want to put people on a leash.
There's a lot of potential.
Just want to capture them.
We'll see.
Yeah. That style is definitely my vibe, so...
Yeah, that's a whole nother. But you guys are filling in all the niches right now of like
survival and extraction games. Yeah,
this is good.
Yeah,
I don't even know the totality of what Silent North is going to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. Somehow we got Spoon on the Rough Talk VR podcast. This past week, and he told us the tutorial's coming for Grim.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once the tutorial's out there, I feel like we're going to see players' behavior get a little bit more mean. Because I feel like right now it's like you almost feel bad for a player when they're running around with a rock in one hand, I don't. I watch Rust videos. Nah, dude. We chased a dude how far? It was just mean.
I mean, he threw everything he owned on the ground, and it's not going to stop the...
I was basically chasing him, telling him he needs to stop running.
You're either with us or you're against us.
He needs to stop running, and if he stops running, I won't kill him. But if he continues to run, then he's against us, and if he's against us, he has to die.
You must die.
And he kept taking off, so, I thought I was pretty clear with my messaging.
I mean, you had to do
it. I told him stop running. Like
he forced the hand is what it was.
Yeah, all he had to do was stop. I wouldn't have killed him. Maybe
but you are right. We've been the bigger assholes than anyone I've seen in the Grim server so far.
I didn't think that would be the case.
Nope. I think we came in a little too hot.
I am the same way. It's death all the time if you run into me. Everyone's during the playtest, everyone stopped going around me because I would just bash them.
Just not worth it.
Well, I know it is technically Tabor Radio, but with Grim now out, another game published by Combat Waffle Studios.
Combat Waffle's got a lot going on.
Silent North coming out. This might need to eventually become just, Waffle Radio or Combat Waffle Radio, something like that. Because,
this studio's grown so much over the past couple of years. It's not even funny.
When we first started this thing, there wasn't a physical office.
No.
That's right.
Like this. I think some of the guys might have been
that
together.
studio's big. That is a big studio.
Yeah. So again, I know it's technically Tabor Radio, but since we're so lucky to have somebody that actually enjoys Grim here as well, too, take advantage of it.
Makes my tail wag.
Yeah, I'm a little excited. Do you have any tips for a new Grim player as well, too?
Any tips?
Besides, don't trust people. Use 2 hands on a rock.
Yes. Man, I'd hate to give tips to the competition, you know?
Oh, no. Dude, I get it.
I need every edge I can get.
2 hands on a rock is a great tip.
Yeah.
Don't trust. Bring over the Tabor attitude of trust no one.
That's right.
100%.
Because it's kill on sight for me all the time.
So it doesn't matter what the game, if it's got that aspect in it, you're not to be trusted, is what you're saying.
Get your crafting done, you know. Learn the game. Learn how to farm.
That makes sense. Simple.
Yeah. I know it kind of lacks it. I know it kind of lacks a tutorial right now, but it's coming. You know, but I'm a big Rust player, so.
When I started playing, obviously there was no map. There was no, even the menu was totally different. There was definitely no talk of a tutorial. So
I think
I had to figure everything out the hard way, other than me like sending Spoon messages now and then to be like, how do I do this?
Oh my gosh. I'm sure he loved that too.
He answered them. I'll give him credit. And I felt wicked stupid. And, but then when shit starts to click, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when you just start experimenting and go, okay, because I can't bug someone every time I have a question, but it felt so friggin' good. So in a way, I'm happy the tutorial's coming, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, you're never gonna have that I figured it out feeling.
I think it's gonna be very baseline. So I don't think it's gonna go super take away all the joy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like finding out about expanding your blueprints or crafting certain things, and
I think he's being shot at.
Getting the Orbeez.
I'm just getting messed with some more.
Well, we went a good, honestly, I think almost 20 minutes without a mess up.
Well, other than some people walking by and stuff.
Yeah, but we didn't get fishnets. He didn't get fishnets. He didn't get assaulted in the last 20 minutes. That's
I beg to differ.
We're on our point
if
of
only
view.
You could see the other side of the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a good point.
I would have put that camera all the way to the other wall and just zoomed in and put my back against the wall.
For all we know, there is the other shot being recorded somewhere.
Oh, you don't know what might be happening.
So, yeah. What are some of the skills that you think are most important for QA, like attention to detail? You know, what do you think if somebody's looking to get into it? What do you think are like the standout skills that you have to have for that role?
Early on, listening, paying attention to the old heads who've been doing it for a long time. Prioritizing your time well, you know, if you have a task at hand. Attention to detail, but not too much to where you are dragging things out and not getting things done in a good, timely fashion.
Oh, I get it. Mm-hmm. Is there so I mean, how do you track what you do? So like you're playing the game, doing what, I mean, in a work sense, it's like, what's the tracking method that and these are things that I wonder, like
how do I
know what you did or didn't do? Is it like, do you have to do like a daily summary of everything?
We have a pretty good tracking system. We use ClickUp, and we have assignees for every ticket that we do, so they know, you know, everything we worked on. That's pretty much how it goes, yeah. But some bugs definitely take a lot more time than others, you know. Some are a quick test. Sometimes you're testing a bug and you find another bug, and then it's creating a ticket for that, and so on.
So really, from an employment sense, QA is a very secure position. Because, I mean, every time you update, right? something could happen. You're always searching, and I'm assuming always trying to break shit, even if nothing's broken. I mean, to me, it sounds like a very, very good position to be in.
Well, especially for a game like Tabor that's always pushing the envelope
moving
of
forward.
VR.
Yeah. You fix something, and then you push new things. Sorry.
No worries. We saw a shake weight in action.
Yeah, I'd be scared too if I saw
getting
a shake weight going by.
Shake.
Yeah.
Those things are a relic of the past. Those things made their rounds.
Dude, how dangerous is that as a weightlifting or exercise? You know, like a 5-pound weight whapping up above your face. There had to be broken noses. But whatever.
Probably a few.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, we'll fix something, and then a couple months down the road, running into the same fix that's broken now, finding things like that.
And what drew you into wanting to go into the QA side of things? Was it, in all honesty, like it was the position that was open and like, hell yeah, you just want to get into it? Or did QA always attract you?
Well, I knew I could do a good job with it, having played video games for so many years. So I was pretty happy to get in there and break things.
So, because you come into it not like, okay, this is what I wanted to do since I was 4 years old. I want to work for the gaming industry, like, which I think is wicked cool. But like, what do you think it was about yourself, in all honesty, that like sold yourself at that interview that like, look, I come to the table with not a lot of experience, but this is who I am.
That's a highlight to me right there.
I'm dying. I'm having such a hard time trying to hold it together watching all this in the background.
Yeah, if I had an Orbeez gun right now, I'd be going ballistic.
Oh my God.
Are you live right now, dude? You're on a podcast, aren't you?
Thank God we don't do live.
Who is that right there? I can't even see. Who? Brought it to the start of the interview. I bet you wish you had that read,
guys.
Now I'm thinking that should be mandatory for interviews. Whoever's getting an interview should probably have one on them. As self-defense. It's like one of those games that every like couple minutes the zombies try to come at you and you got to kill them and then go back to your task.
I think I feel safer with this, right?
1,000,000%. A whole bowl full of them ready to go.
That's fucking funny.
Holy Moses.
Who was that in the kangaroo looking suit?
That was Gramsy. Yeah, he's a newer QA guy.
So, I guess more importantly, why is there a suit there that exists like that?
You just never know, man. I think he brought it from home.
In anticipation of your episode?
I think he wears it at night. Yeah. I think that's...
Well, if we ever talk to him, I'm going to be damn disappointed if he's not in that suit for the interview.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
In his everyday life, he wears it outside. I mean, we made a rule that he's not allowed to wear it a lot in the studio, but I guess they made an exception. 5 o'clock hits and he puts that thing right on. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Who am I to judge?
He's got this burner Twitch account he streams off of,
Yep.
So is the QA team just you two?
No, it's not. It is Carney, of course, and then we have Gramsy, we have Josh, a newer guy, and then we have Vex as well. This isn't Joshy. This is just Josh.
Looks like they'll have to fight.
So we have 2 Joshes.
And you get called Wilson.
Yeah, I ask myself that every day.
We can have 2 Chris's. That's where I draw the fucking
Can't
line.
do Chris and Christopher, but we can do Josh and Joshy. No problem.
Yeah. But
that's
too late for me now.
That's a good amount of testers.
Yeah.
So you guys can roll in there as a group and just do some freaking damage.
Yes, we can. Yep.
Holy Moses.
Yeah, that's almost 2 whole squads worth.
Is it really work?
I'm sure it's hard work, but
I mean, yeah, no, I get it. I saw people like undeniably, it's like you're there working, but when you see it like from the outside in, you're like, damn, like what's a bad day at work? Like you're still getting to go in there. You're getting it unless you're like hell bent on finding something and you're just really self-disappointed, but just sounds almost, it's like a great position. No, I'm happy for you.
We crunch sometimes for sure, overtime, all that. We crunch. So to get these new features in on time.
all work, even the funnest, sometimes is hard work. But at least it's fun work, as you were.
Oh, you can't deny there's got to be some laughs while you're doing shit.
Yeah, I certainly can't complain. People need to work some manual labor jobs to understand how nice we have it here.
Mm-hmm. Power washing in the worst of weather conditions. Yeah, for sure. And was the video game industry, was that kind of always like your life dream? Like, is this where you pictured things were going to go, or is it kind of crazy to look at, if you could see yourself a couple of years ago and be like, hey dude, this is what I do now. Would it be like completely unexpected, or was this always the goal?
It's certainly unexpected. Yeah. I've always loved video games. I've always been passionate about it. So, but to be able to work at a studio playing video games is pretty wild, I don't take it for granted.
That's awesome.
No, and I do so much in my life. I've told people, I go, it's not so much like what you want to do or whatever. It's like there's opportunities that show up in someone's life, and it's like if you say no to that opportunity, it's fucking gone forever. You can say yes to almost any opportunity, and then you'll know that was either for me or it wasn't. But I see a lot of people who turn down. You could have turned it down because you're like, I don't want to move. I love the cold. I want wind and cold.
It's a big change. Is it remote only?
I don't like nice beaches and good weather. Fuck, I don't care. But I mean, somebody would. They'd just be like, no, it's not for me. So it's cool that you took advantage of the opportunity. Yeah. No, it's an easy life lesson for so many people. Just like, look, opportunities will come up. We all get them, right? Just don't always say no.
Yeah.
Freaking cool.
That's awesome. Before we let him go, and, because I think we're pushing the point of a full-blown assault within the next 20 minutes or so. Anything you want to ask Wilson, a.k.a. Chris?
Well, first off, Combat Waffle needs to come up with their own designed Orbeez gun.
Oh, hell, I'm surprised there's not a studio sponsorship at this point.
Right? I know.
Orbeez gun in-game.
It got wild in here a few times with the Orbeez fights, with like a full-on 15-minute long Orbeez fight. I mean, I think we gave Scott PTSD at one point.
From what I saw, he was the biggest initiator of the shooting. I almost got lit up with a headset on.
Dude, and where you almost got lit up. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but it would have been funny.
Knock on wood. I walked away.
No, I saw they have the Orbeez Claymore.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. That scared the shit out of me. You guys, I forget who, maybe it was you. It was one of you were trying to get me to hold it, and I was like, I'm not holding that. You're out of your mind.
Hold this thing.
I knew something was going to happen.
Trust me, dude, hold it.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
By the second day there, I knew, and they tell you to hold something. That's a no. That's a no, sir.
Probably be wearing a cup if I work there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, anything you want to ask?
Definitely worth having.
Anything you want to ask Chris Wilson?
Chris. Out of respect, I will say Chris too. No, I love your story. I think it's a great story.
Big gaming fan that got into a
freaking 28 years old in your beautiful sunny Florida, and you got a nice position going for a studio that's all about getting shit done, getting it done quickly.
Working for the most badass studio in VR.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's not a bad that's not a bad gig to fall in.
Helping to put Florida on the map for some sort of tech.
Yeah, not at all. I'm thankful for Scott, who gave me a chance. Got me the interview.
Shout out to childhood friends too with Eli. That's a cool thing.
Of course.
I always love to hear those things.
Well, Scott's got a gift for finding. Everyone knows it. It's been said a million times over, but he can see talent, and if you've got the talent, he sees it. And if it fits him, he's gonna. It's like it's not the first story of him just seeing the best of what's out there. So it's just cool that to be like, hey, it's just this is me, and I mean, dude, it's a great story. So no, I got nothing else. QA's awesome. I think it's the people that are interested from the people that we've spoken to that do it. It's just more to add to their mental resumes to go, okay, maybe I should put myself out there and see what happens. Just don't put Chris on your resume as the
too funny. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for
sorry for all the harassment.
Yeah. So the
that's okay.
The boxing punches was the real one,
That is the funniest thing. I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
So thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Hopefully we'll see you in studio again soon. That was an awesome trip. That was so cool to see.
Yeah,
everyone there.
We were flies on the wall, but holy crap, was it cool to be allowed and getting to see everyone doing their thing and like how you're doing it, and the balance is incredible. I don't think people really
as busy next time. We'll see.
I doubt it.
I was going to say, I think there's always going to be
Combat
something.
Waffles seems always busy doing something. So
I don't think Ghosts of Tabor can
that
be
is
finished.
the truth.
I don't think there's a finish to the game. There's always an improvement, a tweak, or a new there's always something that will be going on. I'm sure it's truly a live service game. So thank you again for taking the time. To the listeners, keep enjoying Tabor. The Ghosts of Tabor community is definitely something special.
Definitely watch it on YouTube if you can.
Yeah, this is definitely a YouTube one. Yeah. And hey, if you haven't checked out Grim yet either, another game published by Combat Waffle Studios.
Yep.
Spoon-fed interactive. This is freaking awesome to see two of them out in the wild now. Yeah. So thank you again, Chris. And to
appreciate
all
you guys. Yep.
Tabor listeners, keep doing your thing. Good luck out there, folks.
Yep.
All right. Ciao, ciao.